delicious pie made from the most common products. Lazy achma from Lavash is a simple version of Georgian achma, a puff pie with cheese. There is not always the time and desire to cook a full-fledged dough. That's when a variation of this dish comes to the rescue, in which pita bread is used instead of dough. How to make a lazy achma from Lavash. Prepare all the necessary ingredients for the filling. Any cheese will do, as long as it is natural and of high quality. In the classic achma, in addition to the usual cheese, saluguni is also used, but we do not have a classic recipe, but a simplified variation of it. So instead of saluguni we use cottage cheese. Grate the cheese on a coarse grater. In a bowl, combine the cheese and cottage cheese. Cottage cheese can be used of any fat content and even fat-free. If the cottage cheese is lumpy, then it is better to rub it through a sieve or mash it with a fork. I usually use cottage cheese in briquettes. It is quite moist and without lumps. Mix everything thoroughly. The softer and more pliable the cottage cheese, the more tender the filling will turn out. In a separate bowl, combine kefir at room temperature and eggs. Instead of kefir, you can use yogurt and even fermented baked milk. Any fat content will do. Beat the mixture with a mixer until smooth. Prepare the necessary ingredients for the cake. Lavash is better to use a long rectangular one. It is easy to give it any desired shape. First, it is better to prepare the filling and leave the pita bread for later, since it dries quickly enough as soon as the sealed package is opened. Brush a rectangular baking dish, my size is 24-18 centimeters, with butter. Put one sheet of pita bread in it so that its edges hang out. You can use any shape, rectangular, round, square. Depending on the size of the shape, the achma will turn out thinner or, conversely, thicker. From the second lavash, cut out a rectangle or another shape, depending on your shape, equal to the size of the shape. It will be the top of the pie while you set it aside. Cut the remains of the second lavash into small pieces. Divide the resulting pieces into 3 parts. Dip the first third of the pita bread pieces into the kefir egg mixture and lay them overlap in the mold on the pita bread in one layer. Spread half of the cheese curd filling evenly on top. Repeat again the layer of pita bread slices soaked in kefir and cottage cheese filling. Put the rest of the pita bread pieces on top of the filling. Pour the kefir egg mixture on top of the pie, leaving 3 to 4 tablespoons to fill the top. Cover everything with the hanging edges of the pita bread and pour over the remnants of the kefir egg mixture. Cover the pie with the remaining sheet of pita bread. Spread the pieces of butter on top. Put the achma in a preheated 180°C oven for 40 to 45 minutes. The exact time depends on the characteristics of your oven. The top of the achma should be browned. The achma itself can greatly swell during baking, but it will settle as it cools down. Transfer the finished achma from the mold to a dish, cool slightly and cut into pieces. It can be served both hot and completely cold. Enjoy your meal.